I don't think I've ever seen a group of kids this committed, this talented, with also the work ethic that this group actually had.
The Barons will win their first title since 2013.
We knew we had a really special group of guys. So the excitement was there, but then the anticipation of following through actually carried into the season, and we rolled right onto the field.
Once we broke spring training and we saw what we had on our roster, obviously it was a bunch of talent. And so us in player development, it makes our job a lot easier when these guys are hungry to get better, they want to get better, they want to learn. When you got 5 horses that you can run out there and they're going to eat up innings and throw up zeros, it definitely takes pressure off the manager.
Thorpe came out and set the tone right away from game one, and you just see the focus, the routine that he has, the dedication to his work ethic, the way he would study the lineup, the ability that he had to go out and execute his plan leading into that start.
So that was my first call up for anybody to go to the big leagues, and we won a kind of crazy game. I had to take him out in the 7th inning of the game, which was different, right? So everybody's kind of wondering what's happening, and to share that news with the whole team at the end of the game was such a great experience.
He gets called up, everybody's absolutely thrilled for him, myself included. I think that's the first pitcher I've sent directly to the major leagues. Even though I know he came from another organization, the limited time we had together was very enjoyable.
And what was even better about that whole thing was as soon as I tell the team the news, everybody gets up from their chairs and gives them a big old hug. So you could just tell the team camaraderie was just there.
I mean, that's the dream, right? You send guys up, they get to go up, you see their reaction, it just kind of hits you.
Same thing with Brooks Baldwin when he went up. I mean, everybody was so excited and fired up when he got his first hit.
There it is!
Yes.
Brooks Baldwin on the board.
It was special to see. Obviously Kai Bush kind of fed off of that.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
His competitive nature, Thorpe's competitive nature, the competitive nature of this whole group. These guys were not going to be upstaged by each other, so they really doubled down.
Swung on and launched down the left field line. DJ Gladney has done it again.
Non-start days, he's very calm, fun, easygoing, and then the day of his start, you just see the mentality switch, and he's just such an aggressive competitor, wants to get out there, wants to compete.
Swing and a high fly, home run, Quero!
He's one of those guys that he's an offensive catcher, but he also takes a lot of pride in his catching, and it was noticeable. I mean, he did so much work in the offseason on his body, on his defensive skills, and he's just one of those natural leaders.
There goes the base runner. That pitch is high. Quero throws perfectly to Baldwin.
Jake's one of those guys that second guesses himself, but this year he's been just a lot more confident in himself, which is very fortunate to see because his upside is ridiculous.
In 0-2 from Eder. Swing and a miss.
I got drafted by the Diamondbacks in 2002, and I remember my first spring training, and that's when they had Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling, and so my first impressions of him was a baby Randy Johnson, where you see the height, you see the fastball, the slider, the way it plays, and he's another one of those kids in the boat where he's just so young, he just needs experience, and the more innings he gets, the more experience he gets, I mean, the stuff is undeniable.
Top priority was to create a winning environment for these young prospects, and we were able to accomplish that in Kannapolis and Birmingham.
Oilers are moving on to the Carolina League Championship.
To know that underneath the major leagues, we've got players that are going to be in the major leagues in the near future. We're going to be in a good position to win on a nightly basis.
And that's where it's on us in player development to try to develop these guys into big pieces in the big leagues. But I mean, I think there's over 10 to 15 guys that can really make a big impact for the White Sox in the future.
I know we haven't had a ton to be excited about in the last few years, but I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it once this group gets up there.
And there's a drive to right by Montgomery.